Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 18 of The Road to Glory, here with Kyla Adams. Now, we left things off in towards the end of March. Now, we do have our big event coming up in the next week, Continental Divide. After that, the month after, we've got Micro Brew Beer Festival. And then looking a little bit further forward, we've got Peak of the Summit, and of course, that is our big tournament, number one contenders tournament sort of thing. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, what I forgot to mention in the last episode was that we actually went up to 35 popularity, so we are 1 point away from hitting a D- in the Mid-South. Now, I wanted to go through a bit of popularity here for a second. I just want to make sure that everything's on track. So we're at a 41D there for Cali Slick, which is perfect, seeing as he is our champion. Angel of Mercy, hopefully still at a 41. Yeah. I kind of feel like 41's the popularity cap at the moment for us. If we go down to Semi-L here, he's 41 as well. I'm going to try and put out a few promos and give him a few wins. Of course, he is the number one contender again for this month. So basically what I want to do is make sure that his momentum is high. We're going to get him on Menace promos by himself. Hopefully hit at least B- for those. And I want to see if we can get his popularity just that little bit higher, above 41. Bit of an experiment. Anyway, Seth Whitehead, almost at a 41. He's at a 40 D-. We have to look at Kyler, of course. He's at a 36 D-, so he's not too far behind, and he has gained 6 points of popularity this month. He also hit a C+ for his most recent promo. Ernest Youngman, also on a 36 D-, so the same there as Kyler. Have a look at Felipe. He was always, not great, 30 E+. But he was always like our top star before we brought in all these sort of new recruits. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just have a look at Buster Cap. So he's basically the same, although I don't think he's really wrestled too much. So, one thing we need to do is to actually add Buster Cap into the stable itself, because we forgot to do that for the main event of the last show in episode 17. So that's done. Now, one other thing, I actually did this off camera right at the end of the last episode, and that was I gave Angel of Mercy a Summit Wrestling specific mask, and I also gave one to Hush. So they both have 0 prestige on their mask. Now, my thought process behind this was they both actually had very low prestige on their own masks. As you can see, his default 23%. And then Mercy, his was even lower at 16%. So instead of doing that and working their masks, I kind of felt like having a specific mask for our company, possibly once it goes up relatively high, might result in higher merchandise sales. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm even not 100% sure on how merchandise works. I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference for us at this stage, being such a small company in relation to a lot of other different companies in the world at the moment. So yeah, let's have a look at the hidden gems. I mean, the Architect is pretty good. He's also sort of touted for big things. We'll add him to the shortlist. I think going to be 600 per show. He might actually be one to bring in. He's a relatively cheap worker. Anyway, let's advance into our first show here. And I'm curious to see what our episode name is going to be for this one. Of course, we don't really have any plans. We do have Continental Divide. I might just call it the pay-per-view name. And we do have a big title match for Continental Divide, so maybe I'll call it that in the episode title itself. And I'm also actually pre-recording this episode, so the tag team of Hush and Samael, obviously you haven't been able to comment on the previous episode, so that one will have to come in the future. But for now, they've got question marks. They are question marks. No one knows what their team name actually is. Alright, so let's advance. Ooh, a fight broke out. I mean, I'll go a stern warning. Probably should have gone a little bit more, to be honest. We also have Ralph improving his behavior. And yeah, unfortunately, no improvement there from Seth. But that is fine. Nice little rib in there for Dean Waldorf. It's worth mentioning that Kyler's selling did actually go up 1 point last episode. Still at a C+, but that's fine. Now, for tonight's main event, let's actually go with a tag team match. I want to put Kyler in the main event. And we're actually going to have the Ring Generals take on... Where is he? Ernest Youngman. And you guessed it, Kyler Adams. Bit of a... Oh, Marv's still injured. Okay, never mind. Let's do the Suffering instead. For 20 minutes. We won't call it. And let's have Kyler get the victory. I mean, that should be a pretty good match. Regardless. So, yeah. We then want to have a bit of a jobber tag team match. So we'll go Long Beach Mafia 3. And they can take on Bret Heartbreak and Bob Casey. We'll give that 8 minutes. And we'll have Buster Cap get the victory onto Bob Casey. Alright, there we go. We also want to chuck in... Let's chuck in a singles match. Let's go with... go Sonny Wildside. And he can take on... He can take on Dean Waldorf. That's an interesting match. Give it 10 minutes. We'll leave it blank. Just sort of curious to see who will actually win. We'll call it in the ring as well. I mean, that has the potential to be better than the main event, really. We'll go one more match. Let's go Samael taking on... Yeah, Austin Smooth. Why not? It's a nice little 10-minute match there as well. Which I think these guys can probably call it in the... I mean, it's only a 10-minute match. Let's call it. There we go. And again, Austin was unhappy that Samael cracking his knuckles, as he does. Pretty much doing what he does best. And then we'll book our angles here. So we want... We want Ernest and Kyler to do an angle together. So there we go. That's for the main event. We then want a Samael Menace promo. So we'll chuck that one in there as well. Start the show. And finally, I think we'll go with a Long Beach Mafia promo. So Buster Cap and Mobster. And success for both of those in their storyline, of course. And yeah, let's run the show. Pretty happy with that. Alright, so we start off with a 76 B-, 1 point away from a B. We then go to a 56 C-. We got Samael the Accuser defeating Austin Smooth in 9:31 by pinfall with a Poison of God. We then go to a 50 D+ for the Long Beach Mafia promo. Their match gets a 49 D+. We got Long Beach Mafia 3 defeating Bret Heartbreak and Bob Casey in 7:45 when Buster Cap defeated Bob Casey by pinfall with a Mafia kick. And apparently Mobster was head and shoulders above everybody else. And Bob was the weak link. Pretty good match. We also have Bob Casey improving in Rumble skills, which is mind-boggling. Moving on to a 60C rated match, we've got Dean Waldorf defeating Sunny Wildside in 9:46 by pinfall with a Waldorf salad toss. We then get a 63C for the Ernest Youngman and Kyla Adams promo. And the main event getting us a 66C+, a very good match. We have Ernest Youngman and Kyla Adams defeating the Suffering in 1955 when Kyla defeated Felipe by pinfall with a K-trigger. And Kyla was the weak link. Wow. Only with a 56 in-ring performance there. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm starting to think that maybe his athleticism and toughness and stuff like that is maybe letting him down as well. Because, I mean, his performance stats are pretty incredible. His top row, I mean, he's got C minuses in brawling, mat wrestling, chain wrestling, and flashiness. So that's a bit strange to me. Anyway, we also have Felipe Caballero improving in technical skills. Yeah, just very strange. I mean, everybody else, 68 for Seth, 67 for Felipe, and a 67 there for Ernest as well. Alright, and the show, we get a 52D+, 1 point away from a C-. That was unexpected. Alright, well, yeah. Very, very unexpected. Alright, so Marv Statler fully fit now, which is great. We can actually do another tag team match that I wanted to do. But we're over 300,000 in the bank now as well. And yeah, we've still got a couple of shows to go, so it's looking like a pretty profitable month. And it, you know, the finance or the economy in the US is like a 20 E- or something like that. So that's pretty incredible. Let's have a look. Yeah, 21 E- still falling. And the wrestling industry is at a 45D. I'm going to jump to the Mid-South. I want to see CZCW. Let's have a look at their history. I mean, they're still pulling C-. I mean, they actually pulled a C for their March show. Which is going to be pretty tough to beat. Obviously, I don't think they're getting as penalized. Let's have a look. Can we have a look at their production? No, that's just their product. What we can do is we can check our own production and sort of compare, I guess. Yeah, there we go. So CZCW, they have professional production values, whereas we're still at amateur, which is very low. We're still only equal with, you know, some of these lower competitors. I mean, New York City, Mid-Atlantic, L-Ring, IPW, FCW as well. And even with another size increase, would still only be semi-pro, which is not great. Then underneath that, we probably, yeah, we're still a level lower in the live event experience. As you can see, they've got medium, so that's only one increase there. We then go to broadcast quality, and again, they're still one higher with hired pro, so we have a lot of room to maneuver. And again, even with music, they're just one level above. So for these three here, they're only one level above us. Now we can increase that. However, it's gonna eat into the profits each month. And I mean, considering we run 9 shows, we're going to be losing 9,000 just for live event experience alone. So that's pretty tough. Not to mention, actually, we'll be losing 18,000 per month, basically with all the shows. That's interesting. And obviously that would definitely hurt the finances quite a bit. And I can't really justify improving the production values, at least until we're not gaining any more popularity from where we are currently, if that makes sense. I hope it does make sense, and I think that that's probably the best way to go about things at the moment. Anyway, let's go with the Ring Generals. And they can take on... I wanted to do... Yeah, let's do it. Samael and Hush. Give it 20 minutes. I'm going to change Hush to a mid-carder so we can go the distance. And then Samael's going to get the victory. And can we call it with Hush? We cannot. Okay. He's actually... He still needs a lot of development, Hush. So putting him in this match might not be the smartest choice. And apparently Marv is unhappy, so can I make Dean the loser? That's not going to work either. Okay. New plan. Let's go with the Long Beach Mafia. And instead, we'll give the win to Cali Slick. And I think we can call, so that works out even better. So we'll call that match, and then we'll do another tag match. This time, we'll go with Samael and Hush, and they can verse... Who can they verse? Let's give them a decent team. Let's give them Venomous Death. I think they might have already versed them. No, they've never versed them. Perfect. Just give it 10. I mean, this way I don't actually have to change Hush's push. Perfect. All right. We need a Kyler match. Let's go Bret Heartbreak. That's a good match. It's going to help Bret. And I think Bret has pretty good selling as well. Yeah, B-. Hopefully that'll rub off. And hopefully some of Kyler's psychology and safety and consistency will rub off as well. You can even try and call it, to be honest. He's got a C for his psychology, so you'd expect him to do relatively good things. Yeah. Actually, let's go with Logan instead. Logan taking on Ralph Liotta. Give Logan a nice victory here. And of course, get Ralph on the card as well. Might actually work the crowd as well with that one. Makes more sense. Let's go a main event angle. So Cali Slick and Mobstar. There's that one. And then we need Kyler. I just want to do Kyler by himself. That works out. And then finally, we want a Samael angle as well. Perfect. All right. Let's run the show. All right, so we start off with a pretty bad match to start off with, 39 D-. We got Logan Wolfsbane defeating Ralph Liotta in 8-13 by pinfall with a belly-to-belly suplex. We also have Ralph improving in Rumble skills, so not too bad for him. A little bit of improvement. We then go to a 71 C+ rated Menace angle there from Samael. The tag team match gets a 55 C-. We got Hush and Samael defeating Venomous Death in 9:57 when Samael the Accuser defeated Cobra by pinfall with a Poison of God. Of course, both teams having good chemistry. We also have Avalanche Takano and Hush both improving in performance skills. Moving on to a 66 C+ rated entertainment angle from Kyler. Very nice. His match getting a 52 D+ against Bret Heartbreak. We got Kyler defeating him in 10-17 by pinfall with a brainbuster. Haven't seen him pull out that one yet. That's interesting. Kyler with a brainbuster instead of the K-trigger. Interesting. We also have Bret Heartbreak improving in performance skills, which is perfect. Exactly what we want from Kyler. I mean, he's basically #1 trainer that we have at the moment with his performance stats. We then go to a 65C for the Long Beach Mafia angle for the main event. The main event gets a 62C, so again, a pretty standard main event match, I would say. We've got Long Beach Mafia 1 defeating the Ring Generals in 1943 when Cali Slick defeated Dean by pinfall with a slick back, and Cali Slick was head and shoulders above everybody else. We also have Mobster improving in technical skills, so that's, again, pretty beneficial. 68 in-ring performance there from Cali. I'm definitely a fan of his now. I'm almost a little bit angry at myself for never using him, in TEW 2016, because he seems like a pretty good worker. And he seems like he could do a decent job for maybe TCW. Or even US Pro. Interesting. Anyway, overall show rating getting us a 49D+. Still increasing our popularity there as well. Interesting. Goto, unemployed. He's a wrestler I usually bring in for BCG before the tsunami hits in Japan. I really should have done a BCG series. Who knows? Could be my first. Well, as long as they're still around, could be my first series for 2020. But again, they might be shut down. Depending on which companies do actually survive the tsunami. Anyway, Continental Divide. Let's go back to the roster for a second. I would like to... Is there any way to update... I mean, I can go into the editor and give Angel of Mercy a new finisher. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to change his moveset. I'm curious to see... Is there a Poison of God? There is. Is there a way to change the name? I guess I can just create a move. We'll call it the... This was a suggestion, by the way, so it's Mercy. Mercy of God. It's going to be his new finisher. I'm not sure if it's an impact move. I'm assuming it kind of is. Or is it a pinfall move? Probably a pinfall move. Impact move? I don't know. Let's just make it whatever it is. Alright, so hopefully it'll be there. Mercy of God. There we go. That's his finisher, Mercy of God. There we go, saved. Hopefully, we can test it out in this event. And we can see if he will actually use it. Alright, let's actually go back. We got one locker room event. And it's a Sunny Wildside improving his behavior, which is perfect. Exactly what you like to see. Let's rib. Yeah, beautiful. Angel of Mercy, nice rib. Backfires with him, though. So that's frustrating. But, I mean, it got us a point of backstage rating, so that's perfect. Alright, so main event. Did we pre-book it? Yes, we did. 20 minutes, Summit North American title on the line. There we go, booked. Alright, next match. Actually, before we do that, never mind. I was going to do something, but let's do a triple threat tag team match. And we're going to do 2 of these over the coming weeks into the next month. Now, let's use our actual teams. We have to exclude that one. The Long Beach Mafia 3, the Ring Generals, and the Suffering. I think that's a relatively good, tag team match overall. And I'm just going to leave it blank, I think. I think we'll just leave it blank, see what happens. Again, not really too fast. It's not for any titles or anything like that. Hopefully that'll come in the future. But there we go. I then want to have ERNEST YOUNGMAN take on Angel of Mercy. That's a relatively good match as well. I think I want to give it 20 minutes, to be honest. Yeah, we'll give it 20 minutes, and I think we're going to leave it blank as well. So there's that one. We'll do a regular tag team match. And we'll have Venomous Death take on El Mítico and Kyla. Another pretty good match there. We'll give that one, we'll give it 12. We'll leave it blank as well. Hopefully El Mítico will win. Or at least Kyla. Chuck that up there, and then we'll do our angles here. So we'll go Semi-L, Menace, chuck that there. Then we'll go a full Long Beach Mafia angle. So we'll start with Cali Slick, Buster Cap, and Mobster. There we go. Success for everybody. Then we want I think we'll go with an ERNEST YOUNGMAN promo. And finally, we'll go with El Mítico and Kyla. And that'll wrap up the show. Perfect. Hopefully that'll get a C between these two, between Kyla and El Mítico. But that is all the time we have. So let's run the show. I mean, I could do pre-shows and put the other guys on. It would probably benefit them. If we go back, who has issues? So, I mean, no one really has issues. Cobra's probably the only one I actually care about. Yeah, I mean, we still kind of want to save money, so... And I mean, Cobra's in this match anyway, so it's fine. Run the show. Start off with a C. That's exactly what I wanted from this promo. El Mítico and Kyla. Their match also gets a 61C. El Mítico Jr. and Kyla Adams defeated Venomous Death in 12:27 when Kyla defeated Cobra by pinfall with a K-trigger. And a much better in-ring performance there from Kyla, getting a 58. So getting closer to that 60. Also have El Mítico improving in Rumble skills. Moving on to another C-rated angle, this time from ERNEST YOUNGMAN. His match gets a 72B-. Should have been the main event. Oh my god, they have great chemistry. Alright, great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. ERNEST YOUNGMAN defeated Angel of Mercy in 1954 by pinfall with the hit. ERNEST YOUNGMAN with a 74 in-ring performance. Oh my god. ERNEST YOUNGMAN is stealing the show. He stole the show, in my opinion. I don't see the main event beating that. I can see the main event maybe getting a C+. or at least a C, but definitely not a B minus. I mean, that was unexpected. Moving on to a Long Beach Mafia promo. This one, 56 C minus, so it's a little bit better, having Kelly Slick in there, of course. We also have Buster Cap learning to show more charisma, which is pretty beneficial. I'm assuming he got that from Kelly Slick, as he's, I'm pretty sure he's got pretty good charisma. So yeah, the tag match, or the triple threat tag team match, gets a 63C. We have the Ring Generals defeating Long Beach Mafia 3 and the Suffering in 2018. The order of elimination was Long Beach Mafia first, then the Suffering. Really good match. I mean, the Suffering, they're really pulling out really good in-ring performances. They're so underrated. Fair play to them. We then go into a 77B rated Menace angle from Samael. Hopefully this pushes the main event up a little bit. And the main event gets a 68C+. I thought it was going to be a C+. So yeah, Ernest Youngman steals the show. That's going to be the title of this episode, I think. Wow. A B minus. We don't even have proper production values. I mean, if we were level and not getting penalized, I feel like our ratings would be so much better. I mean, that could have pulled like a B plus. Or at least a B. Anyway. We have Kelly Slick defeating Samael the Accuser in a cage match in 1940 by pinfall with a slick back. Kelly Slick makes defense number 2 of his Summit North American title. Alrighty. Let's end the show. 55 C minus for our overall show rating. Above and beyond. That's 5 points higher than our best ever show. Man, I can't believe that, to be honest. It's blowing my mind. Anyway, let's make a speech. So Cobra has to be one of them. I mean, let's just go Ernest. And, yeah, Angel of Mercy. I mean, they literally brought the house down tonight. Full credit to them. 72 B minus. I know it's only 1 point above a C plus, but I mean, the fact that it hit that point is just pretty incredible, to be honest. And we're up to a 36 D minus. There we go. Perfect. You'll love to see it. Anyway, let's advance one day and we'll check our profit for the month of March. Hopefully it's good. 79,000 profit. Worker costs were up a little bit, as were the show costs. But I mean, apart from that, nothing else was really too expensive. Brought in a little, I think 1,000 more in sponsorship there. 500 in merchandise. 300 in miscellaneous. And then about 17,000 extra in ticket sales, so that's really good. But yet again, we finish second in the Mid-South, second in the Southwest as well, which is interesting. Who else is in the Southwest? Where am I going? We're going US, aren't we? So national, we need regional, Southwest. CZCW again. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Anyway, let's we'll keep going. Can't end the episode, 34 minutes in. We gotta try and push that hour mark. Now, guys, if you could smash the like button after that last show, I think it deserves a like. And you guys, you have been smashing it recently. Like I said, pretty much all these episodes, averaging about between 12 and 18 likes, I would say. And like I said, me seeing those, it really just, it melts my heart, and it just makes you feel really good. I mean, it also helps other people find the videos. I think it has something to do with YouTube's algorithm. I think it just allows people to see it more or something like that. So if you could do that, it'd be a big help to me. Be a big help to everybody else that eventually gets to see these episodes and hopefully enjoys it as much as you guys do. So yeah. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you don't have a YouTube account, make a YouTube account. Super simple. And then just subscribe. You can subscribe to your favorite YouTubers. It's as simple as that. And there we go. Anyway, this first match, I want to do Gideon Kato taking on Angel of Mercy. I want to try and see his new finisher. We'll script it, yeah. I haven't had a look at Gideon. We haven't actually used him too much recently. He is still really good. He is still really good. I should really just try and use him more. I almost feel sorry for him. He's like one of my favorite sort of cheap workers that is available. Anyway, let's get the Suffering in a match against... I mean, his popularity went down. Let's check Kelly Slick's popularity. Still 41, so I think it might be capped. At least for the level of matches and for promos. Let's check. Where is he? Ernest Youngman. He's up to a 41, so I'm assuming that's capped there as well. That might be the regional cap. Now, I say that, but I feel like I've gotten people over into higher popularity. Then again, it might also have something to do with the production values. That could be a real possibility. And I say that because he's got the same overness or the same popularity in the tri-state area for New York City, I believe. Is it New York City that he's with? Yeah, New York City and PSW. So I'm assuming that has something to do, because I know New York City have low... what do you call it? Low production values as well. Having a bit of a mind blank there. Anyway, tonight's main event, we're going to go with the Suffering, getting a big victory over the Long Beach Mafia, being Buster Cap and Mobster. Not our champion, of course. Apparently Mobstar's unhappy at the booking, so we'll try and make Buster Cap the loser. There we go, that works. Perfect. Then we want to do... Let's do another tag team match. Let's go with Austin Smooth and Bret Heartbreak, and they can take on Kyla Adams and Sunny Wildside. I was about to do Ralph Liotta, but I thought we probably shouldn't do that. We'll give the win to Sunny Wildside. And we'll have open called. Yeah, we can call it. And again, hopefully Sunny's selling rubs off in Kyla. Yeah, so that's fine. Add another match. This one will go with Hush. And he can verse Kelly Slick. Of course, the champion beating Samael. Non-title. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's add some angles. We'll go with... what angle do we want to do? That's the question. I kind of feel like Felipe and Seth deserve one. Alright, so we'll base these both on entertainment. Give it 6 minutes, and then we'll put that there. I've done Angel of Mercy twice. We need Austin Smooth in this match. And then we want Sunny to win. Open, cold, decisive. We can rename that as well. Then we need an Angel of Mercy angle. So we'll get him on entertainment there. Another 6 minutes. Then we'll take this down to 8. We'll go 9. We can do 9. And then finally we want a Cali Slick angle in there as well to start the show off. Actually, I mean, he can be joined by the rest of the Long Beach Mafia. And of course, they sort of come out and, you know, proclaim that they've taken over Summit Wrestling. I think that's, you know, kind of fitting. That's going to be the first angle there. And we'll run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 54 C- angle from the Long Beach Mafia. Cali Slick's match gets a 55C. We've got Cali Slick defeating Hush in 8:45 by pinfall with a slick back. We then go into a 45D rated angle from Angel of Mercy. His match gets a 56C. Wrong match. Anyway, doesn't matter. 56C- for the tag match here. We've got Kyla Adams and Sunny Wildside defeating Austin Smooth and Bret Heartbreak in 10:22, when Sunny Wildside defeated Austin Smooth by pinfall with a fear factor, and Bret was off his game, and as such was the weak link of the match. No improvements there. Moving on to Angel of Mercy's match, getting a 46D. We have Angel of Mercy defeating Giddy Yukato in 9:34 by pinfall with a Mercy of God. Of course, his new finisher. Sort of similar to Samael's Poison of God. We then go to a 53C- angle for the main event with the Suffering. Main event getting a 63C. We've got the Suffering defeating Long Beach Mafia 3 in 2023 when Seth Whitehead defeated Buster Cap by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And yeah, Buster Cap was the weak link. We also have improvements. We got Felipe improving in technical skills and Buster Cap improving in rumble skills there. So we end the show getting it overall show rating getting a 47D there, which is pretty good. But yeah, still improving our popularity in one region, which is still again all that we really need, and we'll sort of upgrade that once the popularity starts to dry up a little bit. All right, so let's check the emails. Just Roy Edison picking up an injury there. Alrighty, let's continue to the next show, Uprising. We'll get that one booked in as well. Interesting. Again, just sort of wondering if there's any... Yeah, no booking jobs available. Or no new booking jobs, I should say. Alright, but Buster Cap seeing the funny side of that rib is always a bit of a bonus. Alright, so let's we need a new #1 contender, so let's book a Fatal 4-Way for the main event. And we'll try and put more of our high-level guys in there. Angel of Mercy can go in there. ERNEST. We can put Seth back in there as well. I think he deserves another possible opportunity. Didn't really get a rematch that he does kind of deserve. We'll give Samael a bit of a rest. Let's go with Avalanche Tucano. So one of these 4 men will be our new #1 contender. We're going to leave it blank just to see who it'll be. We'll have to script it as well, unfortunately. But that is due to Seth Whitehead's involvement. He doesn't really have the psychology needed. Then we need to book a match for Kyler. So I think we'll go with Marv Statler now that he's injury-free. Again, we sort of want his selling to rub off on Kyler. I feel like selling is such a hard stat to like train and to increase. Actually, we can leave this one blank as well. I'm going to make it a 20-minute match. More just out of curiosity than anything else. And then finally, we'll have a tag team match. Let's go Long Beach Mafia 2, and they can take on El Mitico and Sunny Wildside. Perfect. We'll give Cali Slick the victory as well. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's run that show. We'll go with an Ernest Youngman promo for the main event. Actually, we can do everybody for this one. Angel of Mercy, Avalanche Tucano, and Seth Whitehead as well. Yeah, there we go. I feel like that kind of works a little bit better. So put that on there. We need a Kyler Adams promo. Check it on Entertainment. Hopefully that'll pull another decent C+ rating. And finally we'll go with a Long Beach Mafia. Just Cali Slick and Buster Cap. Alright, that should be a pretty good show, I think. Full 75 minutes. Let's run it. Alright, so we start off with a 51D+, the angle with the Long Beach Mafia. Their tag team match does really well, gets a 62C. Got Long Beach Mafia 2 defeating El Mitico Jr. and Sunny Wildside in 9:51, and Cali Slick defeated Sunny Wildside by pinfall with a slick back. And once again, Buster Cap was the weak link. We also have Sunny Wildside improving in performance skills, so nice beneficial match there. Sunny Wildside was definitely a really good pickup. Surprise north of the border, wow. Tyler just hit a B-. 73 B- for his entertainment angle. That's massive. Wow. Okay, I like it. It's a 73, not even a 72. That's interesting. His match gets a 58C-. We got Kyler Adams defeating Marv Statler in 1931 by pinfall with a K trigger. Good stuff. Really impressed with that promo. We then go to a 58C-. You got the 4 members of the #1 contenders Fatal 4-Way. We also have Seth Whitehead developing better performance skills, so hopefully he'll get a nice little boost to his entertainment stats. And the main event gets a 65C, which is relatively good. And you guessed it, Seth Whitehead wins, defeating Angel of Mercy, Ernest Youngman, and Avalanche Tucano in 1931 when Seth Whitehead defeated Avalanche Tucano by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And in terms of in-ring work, Ernest was head and shoulders above everybody else. We also have Ernest and Angel of Mercy both improving in performance skills as well. So that's pretty beneficial. Overall show rating getting us a 51D+, so a very Very solid show there. Not a bad uprising at all. And like I said, a really good rating there. The Kyla Adams angle. Interesting. I mean, we could try and sign Ricky Dale Johnson. I mean, he is past it. Never mind, he's 4,000 per show. Alrighty, let's just advance. I mean, a lot of processing going on here. Alright, there we go, finally. Let's have a look at south of the border. I mean, that's not a great show rating for them, actually. Only an 82. I mean, they had a 93 there. They also had a 90 six-man tag there as well. But their main event was pretty lackluster. El Fueza. Fueza? Yeah, interesting. He just reminds me of Scott Steiner so much with his render there. Very interesting. Anyway, let's get into this next survivor. We also have Mobster there, improving his behavior, positive impact, so that's good. And it's good to see our backstage rating at a 73. We'll try and increase that a little bit more as well. Nice. Successful rib on Avalanche Ticano there as well. Anyway, let's start booking. So Seth Whitehead is going to be our #1 contender. So, I mean, the easy thing to do is to do the Suffering, taking on Long Beach Mafia. And basically, we'll make that the main event. And I think I want to leave it blank as well. I'm expecting Long Beach Mafia to win. But honestly, it doesn't really matter too much. Because Seth pretty much has the 41 maximum popularity. Along with Cali Slick. So, yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, Felipe or Mobstar could potentially take a pinfall there. We're going to do another tag team match here. Exclude everybody that's booked. Then we'll do Samael and Hush. And they can actually take on... What's Takano selling? It's a C+. Reynolds, C-, okay. In that case, let's go with Sunny Wildside and Kyla. Of course, former friends reuniting. Somewhat. We'll leave it blank as well. There we go. Book a couple of singles matches as well. Let's go El Mitico to take on Kid Fantastic. Haven't used Kid in a while. I'll give that 9 minutes. El Mitico to get the victory there as well. Make it nice and decisive. And go up the top there. And then I think we'll try and book one more match. Let's go Bret Heartbreak. Taking on Dean Waldorf. I think that's, yeah, that's a good match for Bret Heartbreak to learn a little bit. We might even give him a promo. Because we do want to work on his entertainment stats there as well. We'll see how we go. Let's do a promo for Long Beach Mafia. The Cali Slick on entertainment and then Mobstar on menace. And we'll go Bret Heartbreak. probably going to be pretty bad. And then we need a Kyla and Sunny angle. Again, just trying to... Now we're trying to get Kyla to help out Sunny. Sunny Wildside. And then we'll work the crowd with this first match. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's run the show. Start off with a 50D+. We got El Mitico Jr. defeating Kid Fantastic in 9-11 by pinfall with a Northern Lights suplex. And Kid Fantastic was really off his game. We then go to a 59C, the angle with Kyla and Sunny. No improvements. Their tag match gets a 61C. Kyla Adams and Sunny Wildside defeated Samael and Hush in 10:06 when Kyla defeated Samael by pinfall with a K-trigger. And apparently Hush was really off his game as well. Unfortunately, only getting a 34 in-ring performance. But we do have Samael improving in performance skills, so not all bad. And that's a pretty good tag team rating, actually. A 61C. We then go to a 37D-. Not as bad as I thought it would be. But I did forget to change him to a mid-carder, so we're going to get penalized for overusing him, unfortunately. But it is what it is. His match does really well, gets a 58C-. They have great chemistry together, so that's pretty perfect, actually. But we have Dean Waldorf defeating Bret Heartbreak in 9:50 by pinfall with a Waldorf salad toss. 48 in-ring performance there from Bret Heartbreak. Very impressive. We then go to a 66C+ for the Long Beach Mafia. Their angle before the main event. And the main event gets a 69C+, so a very solid main event there. Very happy with that. Long Beach Mafia 1 defeated The Suffering in 2028 when Cali Slick defeated Seth Whitehead by pinfall with a slick back. We also had Cali Slick off his game, so quite a few people were off their game in their matches tonight, so a bit interesting. We also have Mobstar improving in performance skills, so yeah, it's pretty good for him, I guess. Good to see that he's still improving. He's actually over the age of 30, so yeah, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, overall show rating getting a 51D+, so the same as last show, which is good. And there we go. The Bret Heartbreak was slightly overused, but that is fine. I think I want to try and get maybe Bret Heartbreak to team up with Kyla. I mean, they are relatively similar in regards to their ages. Obviously, Kyla is a lot more progressed. But I don't see why Bret Heartbreak wouldn't be able to get to the same sort of level. He is actually a year younger, so who knows, by the end of this year, Bret Heartbreak could be a proper competitor for Kyla in the future. Now, one thing I do want to look at before we... I think I'll do it next episode, actually. Because we're sort of coming to the end of this one. We've got one more show to book. I'm going to give Kelly Slick... I mean, I gave him a stern warning, and he's actually pissed off about that. Anyway, we also have Avalanche Takano there, improving his behavior, which is nice to see. We'll give a rib to somebody. Try and rib. Yeah, there we go. ERNEST is said to see the funny side of the rib. Doesn't do anything to our backstage rating there after dropping 1 point. But we're expecting 2,426 fans for this show. Let's do a one-on-one for our main event tonight. We'll go number 1 contender Seth Whitehead, and he's going to take on Mobstar. Try and get a bit of his popularity back. So there we go. We'll make sure it's scripted. Slow built as well. I mean, Mobster's very unhappy. I kind of want Seth to win anyway, but we'll leave it blank for now. We'll then have another tag match. Like I said, let's put Bret Hart break with Kyler. At least for this match here. And they can take on the Ring Generals. That kind of makes sense, considering Heartbreak just versed Dean Waldorf in the last event. So we'll leave that one blank as well. And we can call it, so it's pretty perfect. There we go. Book a singles match. Actually, let's book a triple threat. We don't really do triple threats and stuff very often. We'll try and use a few guys we haven't used very often. It's some of these guys are sort of on the back burner a little bit. Logan will get in there, and then kind of want to get Hush in there, just to try and boost him up a little bit. But at the same time, we probably need to use Austin Smooth. That's an interesting match, this one. I'm going to leave it blank as well. I mean, whoever deserves to win, I suppose. I mean, he's just really good. Logan truly is, like, really good. I mean, so is Austin and Rob Reynolds as well. We'll book one more match as well. Let's get ERNEST on the card, and he can verse Hush. That's a good idea. Just a cheeky 10-minute match, and we'll script it as well. All right, there we go. Let's add our angles. So I want to have a Seth angle for the main event. I then want to change Bret Heartbreak to a mid-carder. And then we're going to do an angle with Kyler and Bret Heartbreak. So there we go. That needs to go there. Then we'll also grab an ERNEST Youngman Entertainment angle there. And that'll pretty much wrap up our final show of the episode. We will reduce that by a minute. And then we want to work the crowd with this opening triple threat. There we go. Alright, let's run it. So we start off with a 41D. Not too impressive, but we have Austin Smooth defeating Rob Reynolds and Logan Wolfsbane in 10:02. And Austin Smooth defeated Rob Reynolds by submission with a smooth hold. And apparently Austin carried the match. And we also we had Rob off his game, so not a great start, but I mean, these guys are kind of just our fill-in mid-carders. And apparently we got a pretty bad penalty for having Logan call the match in the ring, which is interesting. He does have a C for psychology. Anyway, we go into a C+ here for Ernest Youngman's angle. Not a bad rating. That's pretty good, actually. I think that's kind of improved from where he's been, but he does have the 41 popularity now, so kind of makes sense. His match getting a 62C. We have Ernest Youngman defeating Hush in 9:12 by pinfall with the hit. 72 in-ring performance, which is very, very impressive. We then go to a 52D+, for the angle with Kyler and Bret Heartbreak. No improvements. We then go to the match, which gets a 59C. We have the Ring Generals defeating Kyler Adams and Bret Heartbreak in 9:39, when Marv Statler defeated Bret Heartbreak by pinfall with a wheelbarrow bomb. And Bret Heartbreak really off his game there, so that's a little bit frustrating. Still getting a 40. We had Kyler getting a 62. He was actually the standout in this match, which is good to see. Hopefully his selling with all these guys involved will benefit as well. We then go to a 60C for the main event angle from Seth. And the main event itself also getting a 61C. We have Mobstar defeating Seth Whitehead in 1933 by pinfall with a flattener DDT. And Seth was really off his game. So once again, throughout this show, a lot of people being off their game. But we also have Seth Whitehead improving in performance skills to round off the episode. To end the show, we get a 49D+, still increasing our popularity in the Mid-South, which is great. And yeah, a nice way to finish off the episode. Obviously, the main event wasn't too strong there. And I kind of wish I didn't make that the main event, purely for the fact that I kind of wanted Seth to win. Oh, wow. So Marv thinks that Bret Heartbreak is unsafe in the ring. And he says that we should fire the kid before someone gets crippled. That's not a good opinion. And then we have Logan Wolfsbane apparently can't sell anything worth a damn, according to Ernest Youngman. So that's interesting. Okay. I mean, what's Logan selling? I mean, it's a 56 C-. It's really not that bad. That's pretty strange. Anyway. I'm going to ignore those opinions because they're pretty silly. And, yeah. Have a look at the popularity. We are up to 37D-, and we've finally hit 36 importance there in the Mid-South as well. And that's actually taken our popularity up to 14 in the Southwest, which is relatively nice as well. Again, it's giving us a little bit of a head start once we need to go there. So yeah, that is going to wrap this episode up, guys. You could please smash the like button if you haven't already. It'd be much appreciated. Again, just goes to show that you support the series and you support, obviously, my content coming out. Like I said in the previous episodes as well, we got lots of content going to be coming to the channel once TEW 2020 is released. So make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and hopefully that'll keep you up to date with everything coming out in the future. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy, and I hope you enjoy the end of stat screen.